Hello math lovers and math needers! Welcome back to Dominion Math and Science channel. Today we are diving into something that every student and honestly every adult should feel confident about, the 10 by 10 multiplication table. This may seem daunting at first, but here's the cool part. You don't have to memorize 100 separate numbers. That's right, there is a way to learn it smarter, not harder. Stick with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes and I'll show you how to break it down, spot patterns, and even use a few fun tricks to make it all stick. So, why learn the multiplication table? Imagine this. You're at a store and you see a deal. Buy 3 shirts for $8 each. How much is that? You could pull out your phone, or you could instantly know 3 times 8 is 24 bucks. Boom! Quick math, no calculator, no hesitation, that's power. Here is why knowing your multiplication table is like having a secret superpower. Number 1. Brain boost. When you know your multiplication table, your brain doesn't have to stop and calculate every little thing. It's like autopilot. That means you can focus on bigger problems, like solving puzzles, figuring out patterns, or winning math games, because your basics are solid. Speed is confidence. Ever feel that little panic when a teacher says, "Do this quickly"? If you know your multiplication table, you don't freeze. You fly through the questions. And that kind of speed makes you feel smart and confident, because you are. Foundation for bigger stuff. Fractions, long divisions, algebra, all those need multiplication. Without the multiplication table, it's like trying to build a house with no bricks. But when you've got it memorized, you're ready to build skyscrapers. Real life is a giant game. Whether you're splitting pizza slices with friends, checking discounts when shopping, or leveling up in games that require strategy, multiplication shows up everywhere. Knowing your tables gives you the edge. So, in short, knowing your multiplication table isn't just about passing a test. It's about training your brain, saving time, and being ready for whatever math or life throws at you. Now, let's have a closer look at the multiplication table. At first glance, it looks like you need to learn 100 combinations, 1 by 1 through 10 by 10. But let's bust that myth. Here's a cool secret about the multiplication table. You only really need to learn almost half of it, because math is sneaky smart like that. Thanks to the commutative property, and that's just a fancy way of saying that numbers can switch places in multiplication, 3 times 7 is exactly the same as 7 times 3. That means if you already know one, you automatically know the other. Boom! Half of the table is gone. Instead of memorizing a full 100-cell grid, you only need to master the triangle below or above the diagonal. It's like discovering a cheat code that saves time, brain power, and makes math way less intimidating. Work smarter, not harder, right? Next hint: perfect squares. I have just mentioned the diagonal. What's so special about it? Some numbers are multiplied by themselves. These are called perfect squares. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9, so 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 4 times 4 is 16, 10 times 10 is 100. Memorizing perfect squares in the multiplication table separately is totally worthwhile because they act like anchors in the table. These squares 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. sit right on the diagonal, where the row and the column numbers are the same. Perfect squares come up all the time in math problems involving area, square roots, and algebra. So once you've got them memorized, a lot of more complex math suddenly feels way easier. So locking them in gives you a serious head start. Now, we will come to the rest of the table, and first we will focus on easy wins. Some parts of the multiplication table are so easy they feel like math's version of a life hack. Multiplying by 1 is the ultimate no-brainer. Whatever number you multiply by 1 stays the same, like a mirror reflection. 2's are just doubling, something we start doing as kids. 2, 4, 6, 8. You are already halfway there. 10's are even cooler. Just tack a 0 on the end. 3 times 10, that's 30. Easy. 5's are rhythmically fun. They end in 0 or 5 and follow a simple skip counting pattern. 5, 10, 15, 20, practically a dance beat. And then there is the surprisingly clever 9's. Here's a slick trick that makes multiplying by 9 way easier. Think of it as multiplying by 10 minus the number we are multiplying. For example, instead of trying to figure out 9 times 7 directly, just do 10 times 7, which is easy, it's 70, and then subtract 7. Boom! 70 minus 7 is 63, and that is your answer. Or 8 times 9 is 8 times 10 minus 8, which is 80 minus 8 is 72. This works every time because 9 is just one less than 10. So you're basically taking the full amount and pulling it back just a little by the number we are multiplying by 9. It's like getting almost a full box of donuts but taking one out at the end. Suddenly, multiplying by 9 isn't tricky at all. It's just a quick two-step move that feels like a magic trick once you get the hang of it. Once you've knocked out the easy parts of the multiplication table, like the doubles, the cool patterns of 5's, 9's, 10's, the no-change rule of multiplying by 1, and the handy perfect squares, you'll be amazed how little is actually left to memorize. These are the core facts, a tiny group of VIPs that don't fall into any easy trick category. But the best part? There are only 10 of these left. And once you lock those in, you've basically conquered the whole multiplication chart. It's like clearing out the last few levels of a game after speed running the rest. Now, let's talk about strategy. What to learn first. Here's a smart order to learn your facts. Start with 1's, 10's, and 2's. Then move to 5's and 9's. Learn the perfect squares. Commit to memory the remaining 10 numbers. How to practice the table? Practice makes it permanent. Try making your own flashcards. Use free multiplication games online. Quiz yourself with a timer for speed. Keep it fun. Turn into a challenge. Let's recap. You don't need to memorize 100 facts. Use patterns, tricks, and logic. Focus on easy parts first. Use symmetry and perfect squares. And most importantly, do not stress. Anyone can learn this with the right approach. If you found this helpful, give it a thumb up and subscribe for more easy videos like this one. Got a favorite multiplication trick? Drop it in the comments. See you next time on Dominion Math and Science. And happy multiplying!